कृष्ण पृष्ठाय नामिति नामे नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवाद पाशात देशतारिणे Hare Krishna. So any Prabhuji would like to recite or Mataji? Hare Krishna. Suresh Prabhu, Kalyani Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, please read.
Bhagavad Gita 7.5 अपरेयमितस्त्वन्यां प्रकृतिं विद्धि मे परां जीवभूतां महाबाहो ययेदं धार्यते जगत्. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Besides these, O mighty armed Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mind, which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So this verse reminds us of our own constitutional position, right? Krishna says, besides this, there are other energies. So, besides this means at present he is talking about a superior energy, but before this, he has already discussed or he has already told about other energies, right? So, just before one verse, he talks about Bhumi, Rapo, Analo, Vayo, Ham Mano Buddhi Revacha. That these 8 elements earth, water, ether, air, fire, and mind, intelligence, and ego. So these are the 8 elements, and these 8 elements are also Krishna's energy itself. But these are inferior energies in compared to the living entity, right? In compared to the soul, these are inferior. So the soul, which is a part and parcel of Krishna himself, is a superior energy in compared to this entire the material world that we see, of which all these eight elements are the constituents of this material world. That's why our Goswamiji Maharaj says, Ishvara Ansha Jeev Avinashi Chetana Amal Sahaj Sukhrasi. That the soul is an eternal companion of Krishna himself. Soul is an eternal part and parcel of Krishna. That's why he says, first quality he talks about, he says, Chetana. Chetan means eternal, is evergreen. Ever he is with Krishna. Chetana. Amal. Amal means pure. Means purest of the pure is the soul. But this very pure soul, when enters this material world, becomes the impurest of the impurest. That's why we see after when we enter into this world, the media is open, the society is open. We are seeing a lot of things. We are hearing so many things, and these living entities in having a body, they are doing what not. Means they are doing all crap. So that's why the impure soul also, which is a part of Krishna, becomes impure after entering this material world. And then Sahaj. Sahaj means that soul is very simple. His only one work is that I am the servant of Krishna. That this is the only thing that the soul always thinks. But as soon as the soul enters in this material world, it becomes complex. It is simple, but it becomes complex because when it was beyond the material world, it used to think that okay, Krishna is a master. But as soon as we enter this material world, we started thinking, Mai arumor torte maya jeev kinhe bas eh nikaya. I and mine. These two words came into our life, and then our life went into hell. With these two words, everything erupted. And slowly and steadily, slowly, adhogachanti tamasa. That with all negative things, we are going down and down and down. That's why we were sahaj, we were simple, but we made our life complicated. And due to which the the aroma that we had in our life, the aroma was sukh. That's why it is saying Chetan Amal Sahaj Sukh Rasi. Sukh means Anand, happiness. We were a form of happiness. We are a part and parcel of happiness itself. That's why, but once we entered into this material world, we are crazy about happiness. We want happiness, but we are not getting. Whatever things we are doing, whatever way we are approaching to earn happiness, to get happiness, the happiness at the end of the day, we are not getting happiness. That's why in third canto, between the conversation of Maitra Muni and Vidur, it is being said that whatever we are doing in the quest of earning happiness, getting happiness, we are not getting happiness. So that's why that parcel, that partner of Krishna, that soul, which is a far more superior energy, that is far more exalted, far more superior than all other energies that Krishna talked about in the previous verse. And Krishna says that with this energy, that which is a superior one, the whole universe runs from the mighty Brahma to the microorganisms. If they are running just because that Krishna's energy in the form of soul resides in them. The moment, the moment that energy, the soul leaves the body, that very wife who was sleeping very comfortably, very, without any thoughts and without any eagerness, without any excitement, who was that very wife who was sleeping beside her husband, the moment that energy leaves the body of her husband, she starts getting frightened now. That's why our Adi Shankaracharya Maharaj says, Bharya Bibhyati Tasmin Kai. Just by seeing the body of that very person with whom she has been living for decades, right? Decades. That very wife becomes frightened and says, remove this body out of my house. I don't want, I'm getting frightened. That's why you see when people die in the night, so the entire family, they are not able to sleep, because the same person, when Krishna's energy was there in that body, this body also slept. We, the other members, also slept very comfortably. But once the energy left, the soul left, in a way, Krishna left that body. Now we are not able to sleep. We are getting frightened with that same body, which was earlier also there, now also is there. But after seeing this body, we are getting frightened. We cannot sleep. No one can sleep. They spend the entire night sleepless. So this is the energy. This is the effect of Krishna's energy. That's why Krishna says, Krishna, this energy is far more superior than all other energies of Krishna. That's why Krishna himself says that this energy is mine. This energy is my part of it. Mamai vansho jeev loke. And that's why Krishna is the controller of all these energies, whether it is Bhumi, Rapo, Anulo, Vayu, or Mamai Vansho Jeev Loke, whatever it is, at the end of the day, Krishna is the controller. That's why Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, Ekla Ishvara Krishna ar sabhritya. That everyone else is just the servant of Krishna. Our constitutional position is Jivera Swarupa Hoy Krishner Nityadas. That is our constitutional position. And that is what we not only we have to keep in documentation, but we have to realize in our life. We write so many things, your aspiring servant, your servant, this, that. But when time comes, When anyone comes and says, Kalyani Mataji, can we are that devotee is traveling. They will reach Bangalore. They will cross Bangalore at around 1 p.m. Can you send some chapatis from your house to that, because they don't have, they will be traveling a long distance. So can you spend chapati? Then Kalyani Mataji will say, Prabhuji, I am so busy, Prabhuji. I don't have time, Prabhuji. All philosophy is gone at a time, right? So all those, your aspiring servant, your servant, all those look good, very good, right? Only on documentation, only on paper. But when the time comes for implementation, we fail. That is what we have to put in our life, in our realization, in our practical life, every day, every moment, that we have to realize that in everyone, even in my wife, even in my husband, even in my children, Krishna only resides. That's what our Goswamiji Maharaj taught us. Siya Ramamay sab jag jani karaho pranam jori jugupati. That moment, the day that realization comes in our life, that we can see Krishna in everyone, that day we will be eligible to do Krishna's bhakti. That's because Krishna's bhakti is so rare, it's not so easy. I was reading some book last time. It was giving a reference to Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, where Rupa Goswami says, what is the definition of bhavaha? And it was a big discussion. Even I will not go to that. So bhava comes. We say right at times that, Prabhuji, I have lot of feelings for Krishna. I have lot of bhav. Huh? These are all exaggerations in life that we tend to show. But bhava is not so easy. Rupa Goswami says, when you are situated in Suddha Sattva, and then when the lalasa, the attraction towards Krishna comes at being in that situation, at that point of time, the feelings, the bhava that arise, erupts in your life from your heart, that is actually bhava. Everything is not bhava. We are not in sat, we are in tamogun, rajogun, not even in satogun. Even in that state, bhava cannot come. So that is why we have to understand that Krishna is everywhere, looking at us, living with us in the form of brother, husband, wife, whatever it is. So if we are not able to understand this philosophy, then we will. That's why in Sankhya Shastra in Canto 3, Kapil Muni says to Devuti that until and unless a person is jealous by seeing another person, he will never be satisfied in his life. He cannot have peace and calm in his life. Why? Because when he's getting jealous by seeing that person, actually he's not being jealous of that person. He is being jealous of me who resides in that person. So due to this, he will never be able to be free from disturbance. His life will always be disturbed. So that's why Krishna says that this superior energy, actually he's talking about us only. We are superior energy. That's why we have to leave all these the 8 elements and go beyond these 8 elements. Then only we will be able to have Krishna's mercy in us. Otherwise, if we tend to think that I own this, because if you see, all these 8 elements, all these 8 energies are part and parcel of this nature. These are not part and parcel of Krishna. These things comes into existence when we enter this world, when we enter this universe, when we enter this nature. Then only this comes into play. Otherwise, no. That's why we should not be always running behind, happiness, happiness, happiness. Because as it is said, right? Sukhai karmani karoti loko natai sukham vanyad upram va vindet bhuyastat eva dukkham yadatra yuktam bhagavan vadet. That we are running behind happiness, but happiness is running away from us, away from us. But instead, if we run behind Krishna, happiness will come automatically to us. Why? Because Krishna himself is happiness. That's why we sing, right? Nand ke ghar anand bhayo. We don't see Nand ke ghar is Krishna bhayo. We say Nand ke ghar anand bhayo. Jai Kanhaiya Lal ki. Because Krishna himself is Ananda. Param Anand he is. That's why even the Brahma Anandi is also when hears about Krishna, they leave that Brahma yogi and all those yoga and come and hear and think about Krishna. That is the essence of Krishna's philosophy and Krishna's magic, Krishna's pastimes. So that is why when we are being in this material world and when we are a superior energy of Krishna, as Krishna talks here, so we have to limit our usage of the material energies. You know, whatever way we are exploiting these material energies, whether it is subtle or whether it is explicit, all these sort of energies we have to go beyond, because until unless we are under the holdings of these energies, we will never be able to think that we are not this body, we are Krishna's part and parcel. We are a soul, we are not this body, and it's very difficult. Believe me, it's so difficult, because if you see, after so many years of you know devotion, that we say that we have been chanting 16 rounds from for 30 years, we have been eating prasad from so many years, but even then we see that we have a tendency to decorate our body in different ways, whether it's tattoo, whether it's this, that, or whatnot. So in that, and we more of us now in this media world, we see that bhakti starts when the camera is on. When the camera is off, our bhakti also gets off. And everything, every place, everything that we do, every time that we spend, we want to showcase in our reels, we want to showcase in our podcasts, we want to showcase in LinkedIn. Why are we trying to showcase so many things? Because still, you know explicitly in exposure level, we have thought that okay, theek hai, we have these are not important, but somewhere in our heart there is still, we are still under craziness of people's likings, people's comments, what people will tell about us, what people will think about us. So in this way we are under the control of mind, intelligence and ego, because all these are coming from mind. And that is why until unless traigunya vishya veda nastragunyo bhavarjun, until unless we leave all these behind, we will never be able to realize that we are soul and we are part and parcel of Krishna, and we are that superior energy which Krishna is talking about. We will never be able to realize. So we have to really, as Srila Prabhupada says, this phrase is a very beautiful phrase that which Srila Prabhupada talked about, that this is an emergency situation. Why? Because no one knows that when this body will, when the soul will leave this body. No one knows. And all our plannings, all our excursions, all our activities, all our job, this, that, all will come to a full stop. So we have to think that this is the moment when we have to do something for Krishna, so that I can, at the end moment, I can think about Krishna, because that end moment, Ante Narayan Smriti, is important. Because whatever we do, that is not important. Because at the end moment, if we are not able to realize Krishna, if we are not able to focus on Krishna, then it's gone. And it's not so easy. It's not so easy. So we have to spend, means our entire life is just like a, pre-work, is like a cutover for, why? For that end moment, for that final production moment, that that particular point is the point when we have to focus on Krishna. And for that moment, we are doing a preparation. This is a mock preparation actually. So we have to be very, sincere in our mock in preparation, so that the end moment, when the end moment comes, we can succeed, right? So that is why we have to understand that whatever we are seeing in and around us, these are all the manifestations of Krishna's energy in the form of Maya only. That's why we have to come beyond this. We have to use to our usage and limited. And then we have to slowly leave everything aside and then catch Krishna's hands and just leave this world forever from and go to such that place from where there will never be a U-turn. We will be with Krishna forever. Okay. With this, I conclude. If any Mataji or Prabhuji want to add anything, they can add or any question.